Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is Tuesday, July 9th, 2019, and the game has been updated, apparently. I've taken a look at the patch notes, and they fixed a very annoying issue that has cropped up recently. They have apparently fixed an issue where when you start fast filling replacing belt lines, that it would sometimes replace splitters and undergrounds, and it seemed really random when it would do it, because normally when you click on a belt to upgrade the belt and you drag down the line, yeah, this is the fix, and you drag down the line, it's supposed to skip all of the splitters and undergrounds unless you start your click and drag on a splitter or underground. That's how it's supposed to work, and yet it was randomly replacing splitters and undergrounds yesterday. I could tell, at the very least, when I was doing a lot of belt replacing in the Angels playthrough. So, as per usual, having a look at the updates, nothing at the moment. There was an update to one of the Pi mods at some point earlier. Actually, there's been a few updates to the Pi mods since last we met. In particular, there is now officially a recipe for molten casting of mixed metal alloys, in particular the niobium iron alloy and all of those that use niobium. So what we're doing up somewhere or other. How far up is this? Right here. So this process, there is officially now an option to, instead of using the individual plates, to use the molten iron and niobium complex. So this step, you can use the niobium complex for that. It's decent, but it also, in order to actually get that recipe, I think I have to do, so if I do NBFE, I'm pretty sure that it falls under this. Yes, this is the recipe. This is the new recipe that I don't think I have. I would have to reset iron ore processing 2, which I don't know off the top of my head the actual ID of this tech, so I'm not going to do this right now, particularly because I'm not going to redo what I've already done with the niobium iron alloy making until such a time as I need a lot more of it. That said, I still may have to reset this tech because they Pyanodon also added a iron pulp recipe into the mix at Green Science, because previously at Green Science you could go the extra step to get into slimed iron and unslimed iron, but you couldn't do it from pulp. So you could do grade 1 iron, grade 2 to grade 1, grade 3 to grade 2, processed to grade 1 with 2 and 3, okay. Grade 1 to dust, okay. Grade 2 to 1, 3 to 2 to 1, at a guaranteed, and then it's dust to pulp. So now it's dust to pulp. And then pulp to unslimed, which results... So this results in pulp and slime. So then you have to do a recipe for slime to unslimed and pulp to unslimed, which will result in tailings, and then you can take the slime and you can convert the unslimed into iron with borax and oxygen, and this is a more efficient process than doing the grade 1 into molten. As I reposition myself a little bit. So I will have to do that. I will want to do that, most likely. The question is, do I need to unlock... It looks like I don't. Now, if I do NB, I don't know if this recipe unlocked for me. Because there's also supposed to be like a niobium titanium recipe. Yeah, so it looks like the recipe for the niobium iron alloy that uses molten is not currently available to me. Let's clear that and look on this page in more detail, because it could just be hiding on me. So if I look at... I mean, ideally it would be directly next to... Heck, I'm not even seeing where the normal niobium iron alloy is. Where is the niobium iron? Right there. So yeah, it doesn't look like I have that. Whoops, that is a screenshot that I don't need. So what tech that was? Iron ore processing 2. Which is researched. I need to unresearch it and research it. Which means I'm going to take a moment, go to my desktop, pull up the mods folder. Find... This would be in Raw ores. This is in prototypes, techs, iron. Iron MK-02? Or Iron-MK02? Now, do I still have the... Yes, here. Okay. That theoretically just reset the thing. Question is, was that the right one? Probably not. Nope, there it is. There it is. It's in a completely different tab. So that's good. That's nice. So now I have access to that recipe. But there were others that is probably unlocked in the titanium. So where is titanium? No, that doesn't look like it. Ah, see, that one's unlocked at blue science, so I don't have to worry about the... Oh, and that also unlocks the tin chromium alloy, which I don't think that one had a thingy. Wait, that's in the wrong tech. That's tin chromium, not titanium chromium. This should be unlocked in tin processing, not titanium processing. Oh, Pyanodon. Pay attention. Whenever you do watch this, titanium chromium or tin chromium alloy, this recipe should be unlocked in tin. The niobium titanium is fine, but the tin chromium should be in with the tin ore processing. Wait, where's my tin? Tin 2 unlocks nothing. Okay. I'm just checking for the for any other potential recipes that I may or may not currently have. But I think that just about covers it. Alright, after all of that, 15 minutes of stuff and things. What am I doing today? I was, I believe, when I ended things off, planning to go and mine some sulfur to make some sulfuric acid. Because, if I remember correctly, I think most everything came down to needing some sulfuric acid at some point. And this includes... I can just chug through some science while I'm at it. Making the laser turrets required to make the molybdenum mines. It's like, okay. The thing is, I probably need more than 3. This is 3 per second at a mining speed of... yeah. So, I have sulfur right up here. Do I want to tap these? 1.2-ish mil? Or do I want to tap these? This is denser each and only 3. I think that's the only 2 spots with sulfur. So there's 5 sulfur mines there. All of these are rare earth, not sulfur. Well, let's see. What would be the more convenient location? I don't think either is particularly convenient. What would I need to bring in? Iron and water, as sort of expected. Iron and water. Acid gas and water. Is there a way to do sulfur into acid gas? That's biofilm and tailings, coal bed, Tholins. Sulfur and refined into acid gas. What is that? What is the efficiency of this recipe? Do I get more sulfuric acid by doing the conversion to acid gas first? I would expect so. As a more complex process, I would expect this, so I'm going to make note that this is 10 sulfur, and 100 refined syngas, which I have an excess of, per 100 acid gas at 10 seconds per craft. So at 10 seconds per craft, which is 10 AG per second, 10 RS per second, 1 S per second. Hello, tech. More. And that is compared to... So... And then 100 acid gas makes 50 sulfuric acid. So 100 Ag to 50 H2SO4. At least that's what I'm going to call sulfuric acid. And then the 100 water doesn't matter. And that's every 4 seconds. Which means that it is 2 acid gas, 2 to 1. So that's 2 to 1. Sulfur to acid gas is 1 to 10. Which ultimately means that it's 1 to 5. Sulfur to sulfuric acid. 1 unit of sulfur to 5 units of sulfuric acid in the end. If 1 unit of sulfur makes 10 acid gas, 10 acid gas makes 5 units of sulfuric acid. And avoids a pull on iron. That is the other point. Even if it's more inefficient per unit of sulfur, it is infinitely more efficient on not pulling in iron. Now, I need the sulfuric acid so that I can make batteries, by the way. Now, the normal recipe for sulfuric acid is right here. This is, well, that's quite clear. That is 1 sulfur to 10 sulfuric acid. So this process is, so the acid-gas process is half as efficient and a lot slower than taking iron, but as you can see, it's a unit of iron for every 50 sulfuric. So, is it worth the iron? Is the question of the day. Is it worth the iron? Is it worth the refined syngas is the other question, because refined syngas, that's a lot of activated carbon that gets used by that process. So, am I interested in that at all? I don't think so. So I think in the end, even though that is a clear option for us, sooner rather than later, I will eventually be getting to yet more production on iron. I'm not currently doing anything with the iron that's major. I don't have major demands on iron, even while doing tech, so I think it's good. This will clearly change once I start doing circuit board 2s and such. There's going to be a much, much bigger demand once we hit circuit 2s, because that's going to put a pull on circuit 1s as well to make circuit 2s. So, the sulfur patch I will tap needs 5 sulfur mines. Sulfur mines are here. I need to grab more of my circuit boards for this. Oh wow, I actually shoved ceramics into this car. It's like I rarely shove things into the car. I guess I'm using it as my trash bin. Pretty much. Maybe I need those. No, I don't need those. Don't need those for what I'm making. Alright, circuits. I've got a chest full of circuits. I just need another 2 for now. I need to grab more / make more of the large electric poles. So I need to go grab some niobium plates. Alternatively, I should just automate these. Cables, sticks, and niobium. So let's go automate these really quickly. I don't need to do it particularly fast, so I'm not going to bother with the full automated factories. Yeah, I'm not going to bother making the automated factories for this. So, I have niobium pulled off to make the iron alloy. Seriously. right here. So I've got the niobium and an iron line in over here. I would just need to pull in some copper to do this off to the side. So I will do just that. And I'm going to do this down here. And as for pulling in the copper line, I will pull in the... Oh, hi. I need undergrounds. Thanks. All of your undergrounds. Thanks. I'll pull it in there. Yeah, so see, when I replaced the underground that was sitting there and then dragged over, it replaced that other underground. But if I click here and drag over, it's supposed to not replace the undergrounds or splitters, and it was doing just that for a bit. I am going to chest these for a bit. Niobium iron alloys to get this moving. Making sure things move is always good. So this uses cable. So I'm gonna have that, and I'm gonna have cable. And sticks. Glorious sticks. 8 sticks, 15 cable, and 1 niobium. That's a lot. But I don't need the speed. Ah. Oh, right. I'm still in mode of Bob's. I'm still in Bob's mode. Don't mind me, I'm still in my Angels playthrough mode at the moment. That's just gonna go into a chest and have some beautiful, glorious power. In the meantime, I will handcraft a bunch. A more sufficient amount, I should point out, while I wait for this to, get closer. Because I do sorta want to limit you a little bit. A little bit more. There you go. That's better. Off to sulfur! We go, we go. I think. Maybe. I need belts. I need lots of belts. You know, it might be a good idea to actually, Alright, A, I don't need this stuff clogging my inventory. Head on down now. There we go. Hello, titanium. Are you moving? Yeah, you're moving, alright. At the really slow pace of non-existent. Alright, so where exactly am I going? Right up there. I already have power. Routed most of the way. What is... What are you? Are you a... Chromium? Yeah, you're a chromium reserve. 2 chromium reserves. Is that another... Yeah, I have 2 chromium reserves right next to each other. Basically. Lots of regolites. Alright, so now is the point that I need to start running this up. Hello, sulfur! What do these need when I put these mines down? Drill heads? No, any sort of fuel. Just any fuel is good. Alright. Fine by me. The sulfur mines are mining time 200%, so 1.5 per second on the products. $201, $316, $240, $200, and $260. You're big. Hmm. Oh, are you smalls? Are you small? I think those are medium. This is small. This is medium. This is medium, yep. So sad. I need small oil. Small oil is the only thing I can currently tap into. These also are not small. These are... Hold up. These are small. Oh boy, I found more small crude oil. 959% is a lot less on the density, though. So that doesn't really do it for me. It's a little bit more, but it's not a lot. I are sad. I are so sad. So very sad seeing that. Anyway. Do I have a radar nearby? I do. Do I have any sort of fuel supply? I do. I actually have fuel nearby. Isn't that wonderful? What about down at this sulfur? Holy crap, sulfur right next to raw coal. Like, okay, game RSO is doing work. It knows somehow. I don't actually know if it knows to put fuel near the things that need a fuel source to mine, but it's greatly appreciated. It is greatly appreciated. I should mention petroleum gas can be made through other means than straight up refining of oil. It can be made through chromium, aromatics, and hydrogen, interestingly enough. And this is a way to get petroleum, to get sulfur, to get sulfuric acid without having to either mine sulfur or have oil refining. In fact, I think a lot of the processes in this mod sort of push away the concept of doing any oil refining at all, because there's alternative methods to get heavy oil, light oil, and petroleum than just taking crude into those directly, all three directly. Let's see here. So, yeah, organic solvent and olefins into petroleum and methanol in even amounts. That's another decent recipe. The only real issue would be the olefins, which nichrome and shale oil, Nexelit. This is a decent olefin process. You can do this for olefins. Or you can do lubricant and steam into olefins, which I think I would also do. So then you could get methanol and the stuff that way. So yeah, that's lots of different means of doing things. I have a good supply of sulfur here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mines. Not 200 mines. I have 5 mines, which is 7.5 per second, half of a yellow belt. Out of sulfur. Meaning I don't need to worry whatsoever about any sort of balancing of lanes until we get to the actual full output. Alright. As for how I'm going to feed fuel into this, that should work. Just power it up. I knew there was a good reason to pull power out here. Alright. That's that step. Then I have to go right there. Wow, so much coal, actually. All really close together. While I'm out here, I'm gonna get in my car and I'm going to take a brief trip up to my tar line so that I can place down a radar at my tar line. At the tip top of my tar line. This way it will help to reveal additional resources in the map further away. Then I'm gonna come over here, take my big poles, probably don't need to saturate this coal, but probably just gonna do it anyway. Oddly enough, I've gotten a full thingy. Full yellow belt by doing this. Alright, what's the line I'm drawing here? That's the line I'm drawing here. After I power this all up. Do I need to waste undergrounds here? I don't think so. Yes, sadly I do. Dang. Sadly I do. Alright, off you go into the wild blue yonder. Off you go into the sun. Anyway. Run this line straight down. Thankfully, there aren't really any rocks in my way. And that, my friends, is the sulfur. How am I going to run this? That is a good question, because it makes absolutely 0 sense to run it down over up. 0 sense. to do that. I'm going to run it over. Which means I probably should have just routed all the stuff on the other side anyway, if I'm just going to bring it out this way anyway. Off we go! Rocks. Why? I am this close to just installing nanobots to do all of my repairs and all of the rock removal for me. Ooh, just to the south of this. Of my salt mines. Okay, welcome to the bus. This is activated carbon. I do believe that I, at this point in time, am using Am I using all 4 of these lines? What is this? I am not using all 4 of these lines at this point in time, although I do have additional things to send to the bus, including this niobium iron alloy thing. Wow, this is using a lot of iron. Speaking of which, oh, I'm also like feeding into the my only steel production out of this. But I've definitely got a yellow belt in on the iron. That much is certain. Alright, well then. Hello, tech. Continue on. So, where am I going to process my sulfur? Do I just append into here? Most likely. Speaking of sulfur, it's moving! I've got sulfur. It's a-coming. Thank goodness there's no smell-o-vision, though, for this game, because otherwise I would not be too happy right now. Oh, that feels so bad, running belt over uranium like that, as well as the regoliths. Regioliths. I don't know why I'm running this all the way down, but I'm doing it just to have it at my corner, I suppose. Just so that I know that it's being used. Speaking of which, I want to go over through this gap and grab some of... Come on. You know what? I think I know what the issue is on the performance. I think I know what the performance issue is. It's the smoke. It's the smoke from the powerhouses and the combustion turbine, and specifically from the reformer. At least I think that's something of smoke. I think the smoke is what's causing the performance problems in this particular location. Oh boy. It's smoke. I think I can say that with somewhat certainty, that it's the smoke that's causing the hiccups in my performance. So once I get far enough away that the smoke is cold, it stops. And then every time I get close enough that it starts spawning it in, those entities in, it starts to hitch and moan. It's also hitching and moaning over here, though, which I don't even at this point. I don't even understand fully what all the issues are, but I have a sneaking suspicion that smoke is part of the problem. Alright, alright, alright. I need more buildings. I need more of you. Which means I need small parts, which means I'm already backtracking from coming up here. Where are my small parts? How far down? Way down there. Alright, at inserters. At inserters! Come on, car, let's go. Let's go in reverse. Sure. All the way down at inserters. Do I need inserters? No. La di 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 da. Ow. Running all the belt. I don't want to think about how much belt it's going to take to upgrade all of this to red and to blue. Let's not think of how many belts are being used right now for everything on this bus. Let's not even remotely think about that. Now, this is the aluminium. I'm going to be doing this sulfuric acid right over here. Reps! Do all the reps. So, sulfuric acid requires no... Oh, it requires water. Alright. So, how much sulfur? Oh, wow. Okay. So, these move fast and produce a lot of sulfur, so I can only really do 2 of these. Eh. There we go. That'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it. You know, since I have so many niobium pipes, I may as well actually use them, even though... Has it changed? No, it has not. It's still 400. Gotta get on to that, Pyanodon. I don't know why you decided, hey, we're gonna have a capacity of 400 on these. That is not good. That is not good at all. So how's this water looking? That's the question. Water's fine. Oh look, it's a-coming. It's a-coming! Drawing this line. This is the edge. I thought so. Is the lead not? No, it isn't. It's, ceramics that's the, bleeding edge. Do. Welcome to the party, my beautiful sulfur. My wonderful, beautiful sulfur. So, the other day I sort of calculated how much power I can potentially run on my system, my whole setup. I didn't write that down anywhere. Oops. I'm pretty sure I didn't write that down anywhere. That would be bad. Why would I not write that down anywhere? Because that's important information. I think it was something like 110 megawatts. It was a little over 100 megawatts in total available power. Oh well. Now I need to figure out where I want to put this sulfuric acid line. If I want to... Alright, so are all 4 of these unaccounted for? I think so. I think maybe all 4 of these are unaccounted for. Let's see if there's anything to the left of my organic solvent. It looks clean to me. That looks clean to me. So we're going next to the organic solvent. We are, however, all the way up here, and the only thing we can see up here as a marker is the refined syngas. So how far away are we from the refined syngas? We are 3 So there's 2. So if I set my thingy with a gap of 1, do the refined syngas, we should be good. Oh, that's perfect spacing. Just by the way. So if I place that there, that gives me the proper spacing. Because there's a 1 tile gap, that means we are on the 3rd one away. Huzzah! We now have sulfuric acid. And as soon as the belt backs up, we can get even more sulfuric acid, up to 7.5 per second in, and it is a 10-to-1 ratio, so that's 75 per second on the glorious sulfuric acid processes. Yay! We did it. We did it! What's next? This is the point where I am sad that I didn't take any notes, really, on the progression here. So I've gotten sulfuric acid. That is the key thing. So batteries. Batteries is next. I can probably just do batteries, like, right here. I need Rayon for batteries. Where is... Oh no, this is a Rayon zinc copper sulfuric. Was I going to do this one? I suppose so. You know, I could make some solid fuel right now from extra heavy oil, as inefficient as that is. It's far better to do light. So, Rayon... Fibers. Fibers need a centrifuge. I will probably do the batteries here, and do the other stuff elsewhere, just so that I can do that. This will be... I'll do a mixed belt copper zinc in, and have the Rayon on its own belt in. But then, how am I going to handle... Probably this way. I mean, heck, I could even do... that. Not even bother with that. I need symmetry. Alright, there we go. There we go. And these barely use any sulfuric as well. If I wanted to use all 75, I would need 15 chem plants worth, and that is a lot of Rayon. So now I can have the individual lines of the zinc and the... Speaking of zinc... I need to actually... I'm not actually belting my zinc right now. Oh boy. even more stuff to worry about. Okay, Rayon. I need to go grab some concrete for centrifuges. Now, centrifuges, engine units, concrete, small parts, and steel. Autosaves! Engine units are yet another thing that I'm not currently bussing, but now that I have a lot more aluminium, actually, I could set up a proper line to make engine units. I just don't have anything demanding them quite yet. That is an almost dead thing. Off we go. So, centrifuges. I'm going to need a lot more fibers. I'm going to need to bust my fibers to where... my raw fibers to where I'm going to bust them and make them into fibers. Oh joy, oh bliss. Yeah, every time I'm close to one of those entities making smoke, it hitches. The game absolutely starts hitching on the UPS. So I really do think the issue has everything to do with the smoke. Slash the steam. Alright, my cement slash stuff. My stuff that I want is here. Concrete. Boop, boop. I knew I was making concrete for good reason. That will consume an inventory slot if I don't repair it first. Out of the car. Really wish you could use the repair packs within vehicles. Really wish that was the case. I'm apparently only mining from a single miner. Let's, fix that. Let's, change this up. And, get mining drills. This is all temporary anyway, but better than nothing. There we go, that'll give me a bit more titanium until I set up a more permanent solution. Alright, centrifuges. What's the production like on this fiber? It also makes organic matter, which I'm probably just going to shove straight into a high-pressure furnace to make into carbon dioxide. Now, fiber is 8 megajoules out of raw fiber 6, which is a loss in fuel value. That is a net loss in fuel value. It's slightly more dense resources, but I'm pretty sure 16 is less than 30. Yeah, you lose a lot of fuel value in this. Maybe you shouldn't lose that much fuel value. Because you're consuming 5 by 6, which is 30 megajoules of fuel value to get 2 units that are 8. That's not very good. Why would I ever choose to make fiber for fuel value? You won't. You won't ever use fiber for fuel versus raw fiber. Never. Never use the fiber for fuel versus raw fiber. Then again, raw fiber is incredibly good fuel value for what you get. Also, I didn't pay attention. That is just the fiber in. That is just the fiber in. And then what's the rate? Oh my god. You are really going to require that many centrifuges to get a decent amount of fiber. Where do I make Rayon? What building is this made in? In a pulp mill. This is made in a pulp mill. Hold on a sec, let me grab some wood to make a pulp mill. I want to get a better idea as to what machines I'm going to need to make this Rayon. Boy, where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. Rayon. So, Rayon... 2.5 per second for one building to make 0.83. Please be divisible by 5. Nope. Nope. Alright, well 2.8, whatever. So to feed one pulp mill with enough fiber, you need 7 per second raw fiber in 7 centrifuges. 7 centrifuges. How much concrete do I have on me? Enough to make the 5 more that I need. And that's per pulp mill. Like, what? That's simply too much. Much too much. I mean, I think at this point that's my biggest complaint slash biggest point of contention with this entire mod package is it's just too much buildings. It's too many buildings. It's balanced quite poorly. That's my overall complaint, is it is incredibly poorly balanced in terms of numbers of machines required to craft things. I'm fine with the overall complexity of the various different chains of items to make. No, my point of contention is it's simply too many buildings to do those chains. Too many buildings of the same type doing the same exact processes to get even remotely close to sufficient amounts of stuff that you need. So that's 7 centrifuges to get enough fiber. 7 centrifuges on fiber is going to be 7 per second spare raw fiber. Jeez, that's a lot of, whatever the heck they are, kickalk? Plantations? Yep, fibers. Needs tin and stone and copper and glass to make more kickalk. I have to see, so let me start actually taking notes. So it's 7 centrifuges of... It's centrifuge, yeah. You didn't see it on my screen, but I totally misspelled centrifuge. I spelled it as center, like center, middle, centrifuge. Rather than century. 7 centrifuges of fiber needing 7 per second on raw fibers. That needs to be balanced better. Then we get into the whole ammonia thing. That's only 8.33 per second. I don't know exactly how much ammonia I'm building up at the moment. But... Alright, so I have 3 chem plants. I have 3 chem plants of ammonia, which is 60. So I think I might have enough spare at the moment from urea on the ammonia. I am going to need urea, but I'm currently making urea. And I definitely have enough sulfuric acid. So the 2 other things here are the sodium carbonate, 0.83 per second, and the acid, the carbonyl sulfide. Also at 8.33 per second. So, let's see here. The sodium carbonate comes from sodium sulfate with limestone and coke. Alright, so that's gonna be limestone plus coke plus sodium sulfate. This is going to need salt. HPF. Oh, and HPF makes that as well. Hey, it's sulfur again. It's our good friend sulfur. I need 8.33, so 3 of these. You're gonna also need some propene in. I am making propene. I do have some coal spare for that, so all of that is fine. Perfectly fine. I shouldn't have any issues making the carbonyl sulfide at all. So that'll be 3 HPF. It's sulfur plus coal plus propene. And then here it's... Where are you? Here. Sodium carbonate from sodium sulf... Wait, it's sodium carbonate From sodium sulfate. From sodium bisulfate, which isn't made in one of these? It's made in a mixer. Mixer. Wonderful, beautiful mixer. Takes more sulfuric acid. This is why I needed to make sulfuric acid first, by the way. It's like, oh hey, you need sulfuric acid. Just waiting on this mixer. Come on, mixer. Hurry it up. There you go. Mixer. Oh boy, that's gonna be a thing. Needs red science. Oh boy, that will be a thing. Etching solution will be a thing as well. Alright, sodium bisulfate. Bisulfate from salt and sulfuric. How much salt am I gonna need? Alright, let's now look at what the requirements are going to be. So, 0.83. Oh boy, that... Yep. So that's gonna be 7 HPFs. Seven there, and then 0.88 on this. So that's a 1-to-1. On, yeah, so 0.88. It's another 7. And this one is sodium bicarb plus salt and sodium bicarb. In order to hit 0.88, which of course it's not going to, you need 4 mixers. Oh boy, that is a lot of sulfuric acid. That is a lot of sulfuric acid. Salt plus SA. 88.8 per second. Well, 88.3, but whatever. 88.3, 88.3. That is... Let's just say, for all intents and purposes, that is a yellow belt of salt. So this requires a yellow belt of salt in... That's 125 per second on sulfuric acid. Ish. Less than 125, but if I make sure that I have 125, we'll be perfectly fine. And then this guy, 3 of these, that'll be another... That'll be a 1.5 on sulfur, taking away from my sulfuric acid production. Joy! Bliss! Wonder! And that feeds 0.83 of Rayon. Any questions? No, I guess I will keep going then. For now. So, mixers. I need to grab some titanium plates. Here they are. I should be making a few more of them now. A few more of them. Should end up coming down the line. Now that I helped with the production. Although, I will need to help out with the coal coming in. The vast majority of my coal, as you can see, the coal actual mining is basically dead at this point. All of my primary coal stuff, or stuff that needs fuel, is all done locally. My coke is coming from this coal patch right up here, which... I don't like the looks of that. That isn't nice. Last thing I want is to be dead and have to move my coke production patch again. I might just say F it and leave this as coke production, but like train in the coal. And similarly over here, train in my stuff and things. Yes, stuff and or things. My copper. It's like, why bother moving your big setups that you've already set up when you run out of ore? Just start training ore in at that point. I mean, once you have bots, it's a easy enough copy-paste, but... meh. Just meh. I don't want to have to redo all of the piping for all of this. That sounds like a bit of a chore to have to redo all the piping on that. Well, at least this radar is starting to do its job, clearing out some space there on the map. So yeah, this is like dead. Near enough fully dead. But I still have coal because I'm burning mushrooms. I'm burning mushrooms because I've thought ahead. Way ahead. I actually thought way ahead on this and decided, you know what, we're just gonna be burning that stuff to make coal. That is very convenient. Alright, I still need another mixer here. I need to grab more of you for that. Geez, all of this just to get batteries. I need a total of 10 high-pressure furnaces. Fortunately, those are pretty easy to make. I do need copper plates to make them. Where to go? Where'd you disappear to? Here. I like having lots of spares on the high pressure furnaces. I have the 7 centrifuges. Oh, I need more than just 10. I need 17, actually. So I'll just make all of them. And that, as they say, should be that. And then I have to calculate how many freaking extra kickalk plantations I'm going to need. Get in my car. So my kickalk line is all the way down here. I'd rather not be forced to make another kickalk line somewhere. But let's see, how many we got going? 12. 12, making 6 per second. Okay, I need 7 per second. Spare 7 per second. These are taken 4.2 if I use all of my urea. I am making more than a full yellow belt on the urea, so I'm not concerned about the urea. I just have to bus it. Then there's the issue of how much raw fiber am I consuming on this side of things. For all of these, that's 6 per second at max. Okay, so I already needed more kickalk. Oh boy. Oh boy, this will be interesting. So to say that I need to double it is an understatement. I need to triple it. I'm thinking triple it. Because I need a little over 14 per second just normally. If all this was running at max. And then I would need another 7 on top of that. Which is still a lot. Do we go up to 48? Quadruple. Add 3 more of these. 12. At least. That's 12 per second if I do 2 more, even 60, that's 1 per second on the lamps, and a full 15 per second on the clay. I have 4 clay pits, that's going to need 20. And basically an entire water line's worth, or half of a water line's worth of steam. Not quite half, but you get my meaning. I would need, I think 9. What's 9 times 60? 540, yeah. 9 of these. Probably have to run additional water for that. I need stone. Stone! I don't want to think about having to make an additional 36 plus kickalks. What's 48 more kickalks? Let's not think about that too hard. 48 more. What do you even need for one? You need stone. A lot of iron. A lot of copper. Glass and tin. And a lot of iron. A lot of iron. I think I do have to start running that second line on iron. Slash swap over to molten steel and break that down. Break that down, because I think I'm losing a lot of my output. Yeah, losing a lot of my output between the small parts and the steel trying to fill up. Stone. Stone. Give me stone. I actually need stone. I actually need lead. Holy criminies. I actually need to grab some of my lead. Some of my beautiful, glorious, wonderful lead. La-dee-dee-da. And of course, lots of wood. Lots of wood. Now, I could technically automate the production of kickalk plantations, but I just don't. I wouldn't be able to feed anything else. It's like, that's the issue here. It's, I just won't be able to really do much else. Yep, more wood, huh? Oh, and duralumin. Of course, and duralumin. Always an and everywhere. Lots and lots of wood. Lots and lots of glass. Why am I not, like, storing the extra glass? That would help. I should be storing the extra glass and the extra wood. Oh, you're making circuits. That's a problem. You're totally handcrafting circuits right now. Yeah, I would say don't do that. Oh boy, things, stuff, all over the place. Quickly now, make a thing. Small parts. See, it's making... That's better. Jeez, now... What's your problem on loaders? Iron? It better actually be iron. Load that. Then I want it to load in some stuffs. Stuff and things! Stuff and things! I guess I should grab some ready-made pipe as well. And while I'm doing all of this, because I know I don't need to hold on to a number of the machines that I've already made that aren't being used right now, and some of this other stuff that I'm holding on to, I will, of course, put all of that away to give myself extra inventory space when doing this crafting of all of the Kickalk plantations. As I go about everything else. Nope, that last one uses some of these. There we go. Then it's just more iron. Always, always more iron. Oops, I need another steel chest, ideally, but... Anyway, so that will store some wood for me. Yeah, just a bit of wood for me. Let's grab more you. Couple more stacks of you. Lead. Need more lead. Need to, probably loader up the lead as well. But, for now... Alright, now what? Wood! Give me the wood. No. Needs more. You guys. This uses a lot of circuits, by the way. Oh, now it's using these. Wood and iron. Just crafting all of these kickalks. It's gonna take a while. Sadly. I am tempted just to, because there's such a demand on the steel as well. Oh boy, what is going on? Why is this not a full yellow belt? Why are you not a full yellow belt? Oh, that might explain it. That's not a full set of double iron going in. That might explain something. Yeah, you're not getting... Why is this contaminated? It's contaminated! Just goes to show how much this actually gets used for fuel. So, yeah, the processed iron isn't making it all the way down, which means I'm not making 12.5 per second. It might be time to redo all of this. Make better use of my iron, but I also need to go in and do a bit of repositioning for iron. 'Cause that's not good. Not good at all. Anyway, more duralumin now. More of all the things. At least I don't have to worry about duralumin. I wish this would tell me the actual breakdown, small parts, circuits, and all that, rather than generic, I need iron. Wood. All of it. Lead again. Let's see, how many are we at? I need, 48 of these. 48 is the number of the day. I have 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 28. So 20 more. Multiply all of those numbers there by 20. And that's how much I need. $19. 19 more. 17 more. $16, $15. $14, $13. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Need more circuits. 7, 6. So much wood is required for all of this. 5, 4. That's rubber. What is the classifier? Oh, it's doing belts. It's doing belts. That explains things. Three. 2, 1, 0. Oh my goodness. That was a mission. One heck of a mission, and I want to make sure everything gets crafted before I go start placing things down, because holy crap. That was a lot of crafting of these machines. Thank you, Pyanodon, so much for the wonderful fiber requirements for the Rayon. Thank you so much for needing 7 units per second of raw fiber to feed fiber for a single machine of Rayon. Ultimately making 0.83 Rayon per second. Now, how much do I actually need? If I grab a, did I, like, leave a chem plant just sitting around over here? No. What happened to all of my chem plants? I guess it might have stored it. I think I stored it with other things when picking up pipe here. So, batteries need Rayon. No matter what recipe you're doing for batteries, you need Rayon. Oh my god, I can't even feed 2 freaking battery plants! Can't even fully feed 2 batteries with the amount of Rayon. How many did I set up here? I set up 2. I set up 2 because of what now? Because of the Rayon, I think, but I don't know. It's that Rayon requirement. Holy criminy. Battery. I'm gonna look for recipes that don't use as much Rayon, actually. So, 1 battery per 2 Rayon. That is not... So 1 to 2 for this chem plant recipe. 1 to 2. Alright. So 1 to 2. This recipe is 1 to 1 using glass and lead. So that is a 1 to 1 for glass plus lead. This is also a 1 to 1 using pyrite and lead and coke. This seems like an awful recipe. Why would I ever do that recipe? And then this, that doesn't use sulfuric acid at all, is the best? That's a 3 to 1. That is a 3 to 1 on bats to Rayon. Why would I not do this? It is a slower recipe, but am I willing to spend the sodium hydroxide, chromium, and lead just so that I don't have to spend as much Rayon? I think so. I actually think that this might just be the best battery recipe because you get 3 batteries per unit of Rayon versus 2 Rayon per battery for that recipe and 1 Rayon per battery on this recipe. Now, those end up being able to be made in one of these through this recipe. It's 6 inputs, which is a little annoying, but what are the ratios here? I can get 0.6 per second batteries out just on a regular assembling machine, shoving in some steel, 2 per second on sulfur into the batteries, 0.2 on the Rayon. Now, a 0.83, if I were to feed the full machine on Rayon, would be feeding 2.4 per second on batteries. So I can scale this a lot better by having this recipe with the chromium and steel and Rayon and sodium hydroxide, which, yeah, I've got lots of sodium hydroxide. I'm burning excess sodium hydroxide right now, so I can easily feed that in. I will definitely continue setting up everything that I need in order to produce the full amount of Rayon from the single pulp mill making Rayon, which is going to be 0.83 per second. What I do with that Rayon is going to be making batteries with this recipe that I can start slow with just this one assembling machine making 0.6 and only using a fourth of my Rayon. And I can scale it up as I need more batteries for things. Because remember, I only need batteries right now to make laser turrets, to make molybdenum mines, so that I can do the entire molybdenum chain, so that I can get into the stainless steel production. Because stainless steel requires the aramid, which requires molybdenum, and TPA and sulfuric acid. So molybdenum is part of all of that. Anyway, at this point, I think I want to take a brief break now that we've decided on those things, and I will be back very shortly. Alright, I have returned from my break. So, I decided that I would be doing a completely different battery recipe than what I was planning on before. So this is 1, 2, 3, 45, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, good. That is absolutely wonderful. I'm going to adjust the mic now. Okay, that's a bit better. So, yeah, I'm just going through these mill techs just because they exist. Not really because I need them, because I'm not running with biters on. Oh crap, I totally had 2 kick elks sitting right in a chest. Oh boy, yeah, let's use those rather than expend the resources. I should hold on to those pumps and sinkholes and gas vents. And oh hey, I also had 4 mixers just hanging out in here. Yeah, that tends to happen, I think. Losing track of where all the stuff's being stored. Yeah, all that can stay in there. How about you guys? Oh look, more high pressure furnaces. Lots of things, actually. Car? Car. How's the power? Just fine. This... Yeah, I swear it's the steam. I swear it's this smoke effect that's causing UPS issues. Lagging. So, Kickalk. Oh boy. Now the fun part. So I have a line of 12 right now. This is about to be a line of 60. Done by hand, without robots. This is going to be fun. I have to get more, inserters. Long-handed inserters. Considering each building is going to need, 2 long-handeds on the outputs. Why do I need 2 long-handeds on the outputs? Because I want to have an even output. Yeah, we're still going. Hey, now we're done. So how far away is this? Oh yeah, just to my tar, basically. It's like, oh yeah, just big line, essentially to my tar, just no big deal. Oh wow, that's a lot of phosphate. Things that make you go, I'm currently tapping these for phosphate, but they're actually running a little low. Fortunately, I've got all of this that I can tap and easily route in. I've also got a lot of salt up there. I think that's what I will tap into for my line of salt that I'm going to need to feed the sodium carbonate production out of sodium bicarb and sulfate. For reference, there is a setting in RSO that does this for me, that reveals spawned resources. It's actually a little tick mark in the map options, if I'm not mistaken. If I go to mod settings, on the map options for RSO, there is revealed spawned resources. So it will reveal the full thing to avoid partially revealed patches, but everything that's spawned in, even if it's not contiguous to what you can see, gets revealed. So if you get close enough that the game spawns in additional chunks of ore patches, it will immediately reveal them. It can get a little bit taxing on the UPS if you have obscene settings where you've got extremely huge ore patches, or you've got a lot of ore patches to spawn in every time the game expands the map. But I think this is ideal. It reduces the amount of hunting for things, and like it avoids situations where you're out exploring and you just happen to not get one square away from being able to see an ore patch, because it'll just, if it's there, it'll reveal it for you. So I do really like to have that option turned on whenever possible. It looks like I'm going to need more belt, because I probably don't even have enough belt to run a single line down of lamps. For the record, this is actually using the more efficient raw fiber recipe. Which reminds me, I have to actually set the recipe to be used. Oh, there are even more efficient recipes, though. Yeah, with fertilizer. If I did this sand and CO2 recipe, that would actually reduce the number of machines that I need, but how many machines is it to do 15 per second on clay? Oh, it doesn't even work out evenly. Okay. I'm just comparing recipes. I don't think it's going to be worth the sand input at all, or the CO2 for that matter. This is the recipe I'm currently using for 60 to make 30 flat from 15 per second on clay and 1 per second on lamps, which I should be making 1 per second on the lamps. Oh, wonderful. And I will have to rotate as well. I'm going to do some copy pasting so that I have the correct rotations on all of these machines as I head on up to go and retrieve some additional thingies. Oh, this is the clay line, not the lamps. Alright. You can see at the moment I'm not actually consuming that much raw fiber, but I must plan for the future. Must plan. Oh, you're not being powered. There you go. So I have the boilers for the clay pits, which reminds me I need clay pits. Where is clay pits? That's gonna need stone bricks. Stone bricks. How many clay pits will I need? In addition to what I already have? I currently have 4 of these. I think I need 20? Yeah. So I need 16 more clay pits to feed the clay. Must feed the clay. Must grab the stone bricks. This should be... What is even using stone bricks? Oh, I know what's using stone bricks. I know what's using stone bricks. It's the mill science. Yeah, walls. Build the walls, as they say. Don't actually build the walls. That sounds like a terrible idea. On a map without biters. Where's a car? No car? Nearby? Do I have one? No. Can I make one? No. Ugh. I need to replace this with, like, concrete or something. Or start actually making any of those tiles that are added in these mod that are faster walking speed than even the concrete. Like asphalt stuff. That thing, yeah. What tab is even that stuff in? Here. This is it. Aluminium tiles. Whoa! That's 210%. That's 210%. At the cost of solder. Limestone and ash and creosote. That'd be a use for creosote. I just don't like the... well, ash requirement. The steel tile is 180% and it requires solder. I could use a better sink on the aluminium, so I will probably actually do this. Solder... I'll have to make anyway. And I can do it with the tar. That's fine by me. Lead, tin, and tar. Car. My tar pipe, though, how far is it being run? As I've been completely distracted now from my original mission. I was going up this direction for some reason or other. I forget exactly what now. Because now I'm moving up tar to get to a point on my bus that I can make solder, so that I can then make these aluminium-based plates. Ah, the webs we weave. Alright, what was I doing up here? Oh, I came up here so that I could grab some of the stone bricks to make the clay pits that I need. Also, these can die. As can all of that, because I'm going to have you making batteries from this recipe. You have 6 inputs. Oh, I apparently also need belts. 6 inputs, huh? There. That's 6 inputs and an output. Done. Simple, really. And it's right near one of the inputs. And I have another steel, and I can just bring up the chromium, and the sodium hydroxide, and lead's already here. So I'll just add Rayon, basically. That's all I really need. Just add Rayon. Why was I moving south again? Belt. I need belt. Don't go down without your car. Constantly need to remind myself. Grab belt to then do these speed tiles that end up using some of this aluminium that I have floating around. So at the rubber that I'm making, I have this setup here that has a whole bunch of belts for me. This is actually a much more efficient process for making the belts. I grabbed a bunch of stone brick, didn't I? So, clay. Beautiful clay pits. Needs more stone bricks, because of course. That's 4, and I needed to make 16. So I need 12 more. There we go. There's my 12 more on the clay pits. Oops. What am I going to do with this space, huh? I mean, I have excess limestone here that I can use for stuff, but if I'm going to be... Here's the thing. I may have this long line of limestone, but as soon as I start making this stuff with the excess aluminium, all this is going to start running again, because this is my molten aluminium. / aluminium pulp area. Alright, solder from tar plus stuff. I actually can't use one of these because it requires a thingy for input, fluid input, and those machines in this mod do not take fluid inputs. So you are going to make for me some beautiful solder using... If I can find solder using this recipe. Each one of these factories will make 1.5 per second, despite them being really fast factories. Let's go with... Oh, that's a 1-to-1 on lead. Interesting. Let's go with 2. I definitely have the tar for this. In case you were wondering, yeah, I've got all the tar. Beautiful tar. Coming in. Then I need lead and tin. That will work. I need to bring tin up, actually. That makes things a little more complex. Just a little bit more. It's not too bad. Yeah, it chose to go this way. It doesn't going this way saves an underground, because if I tried to do the other side here to go over, I would have to jump the line 2 and the line 1. Here, I just have to jump the line 4. So that's tin, then it is lead. Lead is closer to the proper side. Lead is apparently not here. Lead is being fully used? I'm not getting much lead in. Why? It all has to do with the amount of acetylene that I'm producing. You know, I think rather than focusing too much on everything else, the stuff that I have been working on thus far, once I pull this line up and do this setup here, to make this solder and this these aluminium tiles with the 200% movement speed bonus on them, because I really want that movement speed, but I also am working on other things. Instead of continuing to work on that Rayon, because I see that I have such a problem with the acetylene right now, I'm actually thinking I want to set up acetylene via Tholins, because in all actuality it is more efficient to do acetylene via Tholins. As odd as that sounds, it's actually easier to do acetylene via Tholins. Why is that the case? Because acetylene takes, in a gasifier, these 4 produce 50 units total per second of acetylene, and it requires a ton of coke. Which reminds me, I still need to bring in the coke from my main coke production into this. But if I'm going to fully replace this anyway with Tholin stuff, ah boy. So it requires limestone being converted into calcium carbide via lime. So limestone to lime to calcium carbide, requiring coke, lots of coke in to feed very little acetylene out of water. So, why do this when you can get essentially the same amount of acetylene for free, just power, from Tholins? It's made no sense to me once realizing that I would do any of these processes. Oh, I need more thingies. All of these are pipes, so I don't need to worry about my underground spacing here. In fact, I'm not even gonna bother jumping that. Go that way. All of it. That makes it through. Alright, that's lead and tin and tar. Just turn on the lights. Excuse me, that way. Thanks. And there is your solder for you. Welcome to the party, solder. And then it's just a matter of this stuff. Hi. Yeah, that's gonna be all the solder. All of it. In fact, I'll just leave it there and be like, hello. There's the aluminium. The aluminium. Now this is gonna consume how much? 6 per second? It'll be fine. That's just fine. Give me chests. Beautiful, glorious chests. Beautiful, glorious tiles! They're pretty, they're beautiful. I need a lot more lead. Oh, and there's a sound effect too, a steel footstep effect. Good luck driving a car on this, by the way. Because if I'm not mistaken, the car does get impacted by terrain stuff. I don't know if it gets impacted by tiles that you add, though. I think so. I think it gets the extra speed boost on this stuff. It sure seems like it to me. But it definitely gets reduced speed on the desert, the volcanic tiles. That much is certain. So, Tholins. Where is... I think it's you. Tholin stuff. Will require Nexelit. I've been needing to do Nexelit for some time. I've been needing to do coal gas from heavy oil as well. And that would free up my tar that's currently going towards making this recipe. Alright. So, Nexelit. Raw Nexelit from tailings is all you can currently do. Requires evaporators. No, I want here evaporators. Doink. Make me evaporators. Now, tailings. I do have a line that's going into this coal water slurry fuel into benzene plus aromatics into propene into, well, not into propene, but also propene and benzene into cumene with phosphoric acid and ceramics. Then it's cumene into phenol and blah. Phenol and blah. Yes. Acetone. Alright, space. I need space. Space! I need space. Welcome, space. Welcome, beautiful tiles that will paint the world. We will paint the world with aluminium tiles. Is the car affected? It doesn't actually look like it. But I am. Look at that! Difference on desert tile. So this is my speed on a desert tile. With the desert tile slowdown, and then all of a sudden no more slowdown plus 200% from base. Yeah, that's... I can only imagine what this will look like once I get exosuit stuff. That will be glorious and wonderful. Alright, evaporators. Evaps. Boop, 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 boo. Evaps doing... Raw Nexelit from tailings. Just because I may need other tailings. Oh wow, that's a full throughput. Alright. 3 then. Tailings, dust. Tailings, dust can go into coal tiles, which requires ash, into rich dust, into coal dust. Gives you some copper and iron ore. That doesn't matter so much. The rich dust. Ingredient in chromite sand. Oh boy. And it gives you iron oxide. I'm gonna burn. Burn, burn, burn all the things. I need burners. Glorious, beautiful burners. Doinky, doinky, doinky. Can't burn coal dust. Pretty sure you can still burn tailings dust, though. Tailings. So, Nexelit. At the moment... Oh, there's even Nexelit tiles. Oh boy, what's your speed boost? Oh, it's not gonna tell me. I have to actually look it up. So, Nexelit plates. From hot air, from clean Nexelit. So you take raw Nexelit, add water in a washer, and you actually get some tailings back out of it that you could feed back in. So that's good to know. Washer. Going to need some stone bricks. Fortunately, the stone bricks are close-ish by. So that said it was, what, 3 per second max on the thingies? So, clean, Nexelit. So I need 3 of these. That'll be 1 per second on the Nexelit. Ah, this is so much better. I feel... Yeah, that just feels so much better. Sounds a lot better, too. Okay, you guys. Boink, boink, boink. Clean that Nexelit. Oh, you only have 1 input? Why? That makes no sense. Why? Why only 1 input? Now I have to use a lot more stuff. Because I still want this to be behind an overflow valve. And I want all of the tailings made from this to go feeding back into this system. Alternatively, my input can be a little bit down. And I can do that way. Think that works just fine. Now I should absolutely have a pipe with water. That's already out here. I simply need my tailings to be brought up. And speaking of tailings... Where are they? And I haven't actually connected all of my tailing production up to my system yet. So here's the tailings line. It's right next to that salt water. Now, rocketry uses a lot of science, apparently. It's taking a while. Probably because my lead is choking. Since it needs Tholins. Moving on up. Have I mentioned how perfect the spacing is on a 4x4? On 4-lane setups like this. Multiples of 4. That's not perfect, though. There we go. There's the tailings in, feeding this system. This feeds exclusively on the tailings. I need to add just the thingies now. The energy supply to the burners. And then it's the next steps. I will need to bring my hot air line up, because I would be a fool not to do hot air processing of this. And I do believe it would be in advanced foundries. Now, my hot air, what line is that on again? I know I have the hot air on a line. It is here, and it's way back here too. Just because of how complex everything is. Oh, I need more. I need more niobium undergrounds. What page is that again? I always forget. And oh, I don't have any, right. Can't even make them because I don't have any niobium on me. Plates on me. Although if I do take a trip out to here, I should have a full chest of the things, so yeah. Fortunately, you don't need all that many due to the underground distance lengths involved. But I'm a little bit concerned with my count at the moment. Rocks must die. Yeah, I'm just gonna go get more of these pipes. More pipes are required. You're this way. So many rocks. So many rocks. And what's with the lack of the glass? What is the problem with glass now? Why are you being a rear end? Coal gas, I guess. Oh joy. Well, fortunately, that's one of the next things we're gonna be working on here. Alright, so say hello to the niobium stuff. Lots of niobium. It's not even a full lane of production of niobium, but it's enough to get by for now. Alright, in the last 6 minutes here of the stream, I want to finish setting up this Nexelit at the very least, so I can at least say, hey, we did Nexelit today. Nexelit we did do. Car, please weave. Alright, here we go. We've got that hot air brought all the way down. Alright, you guys. I do hope it's you. For the record, I hope it's this. It appears to be this. Good. Very good. Now to bring this all the way over to that hot air. And then it's just a matter of pooping out all of the clean, pretty Nexelit. Splitting it. Now, why do I do it this way? I do it this way so that I can have an easier time on the outputs. Because with this, I can just do that, and boom, there's your output. For now, this is all going into a chest. Okay. Okay. We good. Power. Make sure the lights are all on. There we go. Now, if only we had enough tailings to fill a single machine, let alone 3. Okay, apparently there's been one whole clean Nexelit. Oh, that's actually enough to process everything respectably. Alright, we have 2 minutes to hook up all of that spare tailings to the system. Probably it isn't gonna happen, but yeah. So what got done today? Technically Nexelit? Technically Nexelit, as well as crafting and placing down a ton of kickalks. An absolute freaking ton of kickalks got placed. Have I actually connected all of this already? I think I've connected it all. I just haven't run it onto my bus. Yeah, see, I've connected all of it. I haven't run it to my bus, so all I need to do is run it to my bus. I think I can take the moment and do that. I will, of course, break all of this down. This is no longer required in the slightest. Stupid rocks in the way. Oh boy, more tailings. More rocks in the way. More tailings means more Nexelit. More Nexelit means more Tholin plants. More Tholin plants means more acetylene. And more hydrochloric, not hydrochloric, hydrogen chloride. Because oddly enough, getting chlorine is more effective via Tholins. Who'da thunk it? Boom. There we go. So now we should see this start to move just a little bit faster. Maybe. Please? Anyway. With that, I've planned out the future for getting through to batteries. I have made sulfuric acid, so if I'm going to review everything that actually happened today before ending things off, I radared this, I went up here, started mining sulfur, fed it in through a local coal supply, sent the sulfur to my bus directly close to where it's being actually used, or where it will actually be used, to make batteries, or at least to make sulfuric acid. It will also be used to make batteries. So I have sulfuric acid. I decided in the end I would use a very complex recipe for making batteries out of sulfur and chromium and steel and a whole bunch of other things because it uses a lot less rayon per battery. It actually uses... You actually get 3 batteries per rayon unit out of this recipe compared to the most basic, quote, vanilla recipe that has been modified to use zinc plates and copper, which ends up being 2 rayon per single unit of battery versus 3 batteries versus 1 rayon. Yeah, that's a pretty massive difference, clearly. Especially when a single building of rayon will require 7 units per second, ultimately, of raw fiber going into 7 centrifuges making fibers. Plus, it needs urea, plus it consumes sulfuric acid through the production of carbonyl sulfide via using sulfur rather than sulfuric acid, so you have less ability to make sulfuric acid. You need sulfuric acid, though, to make sodium bicarbonate, which is used for sodium sulfate, which is used for sodium carbonate, that also gets used in rayon. So yeah, lots of planning has been done today, much like last time. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. We are also making some beautiful aluminium tiles. The beautiful aluminium tiles are being made right now, and I will definitely be using every single one. Every single one will be mine. I've apparently made, like, just a couple of units of things. I'm gonna go ahead and do that just so that I'm not spreading the love here with what tailings I do have spare. No. You, clean Nexelit, are going into here. How many is needed? 18. Yeah, that's gonna take a while, unfortunately. But yeah, aluminium tile. Woo! 200% movement speed. Yay! I'd like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. I will be back tomorrow with more of the Angels playthrough, and I will be back on Thursday for more of this Pyanodon's playthrough. I will see you all then.